Is the MLB rigging it so that the Yankees win the AL East? Because some players in the Blue Jays seem to think so. Welcome back to the official review. I'm Steve. This is Johnny. And today we're going to talk about the AL East playoff race where the Blue Jays and Yankees are now tied for first place.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a kind of a crazy playoff race. I mean, you've had some amazing collapses all over.
Yeah, even the AL Central.
AL Central, I mean, as of recording, the Guardians overtook the Tigers. You know, at the beginning of the month, the Blue Jays had a 2.5 game lead over the Yankees. The Astros were firmly in a playoff spot, 3 games up on the AL West. And now at the end of the month, you know, the Mariners clinched the AL West. The Astros are currently outside the playoffs looking in. The Tigers have blown a 10.5 game lead to the Guardians. And now, yeah, the Blue Jays and Yankees now tied for the AL East lead.
Do you think like guys are just tired at this point in the season? Because like the Red Sox also had a cold streak pretty recently. Like you said, the Tigers absolute collapse. They're up 10.5 games. Blue Jays collapsing. I wonder if it's like a player fatigue thing or what's going on.
I just don't think any of these teams are particularly good. I mean, that's my honest assessment of what's going on. I think all these teams have major flaws. The Blue Jays, they don't really have a bottom half of the lineup. So if the top half of the lineup's not performing, it's going to be poor offensively. The Tigers, they never were a great lineup either. Like the rotation's great. I mean, they got Skubal, but you know, you're relying on guys like Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, who haven't really like consistently looked great for full seasons. So they're going to be wishy-washy. I don't know what it is with this season, but not even the Dodgers look that good. I mean, they're you know, Shohei Ohtani, and then maybe over the hill Freddie Freeman, who's hurt and old, you know, Mookie Betts with a 730 OPS this year. I don't know, man. I just don't think any team's particularly good, but the Yankees have been storming back in that AL East. I mean, they're a formidable team. They've got, you know, at least a 1A, 1-2, 1B starter and Fried and Rodón. So it doesn't surprise me to see that they're tied with the Blue Jays, but I mean,
I also think like, look, you look at the trade deadline, I feel like a lot of the teams that were in first place kind of sat put. While the Yankees went out and got like 3 relievers, they got a new third baseman, they made moves.
So what's this Blue Jays Yankees story?
So with the Blue Jays Yankees, I don't know if you saw, but the Blue Jays were playing the Red Sox. This was on Tuesday, and pretty much the Blue Jays had the bases loaded. George Springer, the Blue Jays' best player, was batting. He hits a line drive down the line. It's kind of a close call. The calls it foul, but like when you look at the replay, it bounces fair before the base, and it looks like it goes right over the third base line. And for those of you who don't know, that is a play that you cannot challenge. But the Blue Jays manager came out, tries to challenge it, and then the next pitch in that at bat after the foul ball, George Springer struck out on a pitch that was out of the zone, like you know in the box where you see it after the pitcher throws, it was out of the zone. George Springer's furious. He goes back to the dugout. Camera is right on him. It's going in between the ump and George Springer. And you just see George Springer mouth something like, if they're trying to give it to New York, why don't you just tell me? Or something like that. Or just give it to them. Basically insinuating that the MLB wants the Yankees to overtake the Blue Jays for the division.
I'm just going to say pretty rich coming from a guy who was caught cheating in 2019 on a team that famously cheated for multiple years to help them win a World Series, to complain about the MLB helping a team. I'm just going to say very, very rich, very rich. It's just funny that this is the guy who, you know, was his career propelled because of cheating. That being said, I don't know. Probably not. You know, umpires make bad calls. There's no inherent gain. I mean, listen, if they want the Yankees to win the AL East, MLB's missing out on Yankees Red Sox wild card weekend.
I agree with that.
That's what they're giving up. So if anything, the Blue Jays want to win the division. I just think Springer's a crybaby. I think world's smallest violin for a guy who's been cheating his whole career. You know, I like Springer as a player. I think he could be a Hall of Famer if he plays a couple more years like this. But man, I don't call a ambulance for this guy.
I agree, especially because it's not like he was just on the Astros. You could make an argument that he benefited the most from that. He's tied for the most home runs in a single World Series series. So like my guy, like the cheating really did help this guy. And I agree. Here's the thing. We see like guys betting on sports and they literally go to jail. I don't think you can have an ump purposefully make calls to help another team. And on top of that, it was the second inning. I don't know if the umps are like rigging games in the second inning with foul ball calls. And the Red Sox ended up winning 4-1. And look, so that brought the Yankees down to 1 game. The Yankees ended up tying it the next night. But that's when the Blue Jays lost 7-1 to Garrett Crochet. Did the umps rig it so Garrett Crochet, one of the best pitchers in baseball, just mows down everyone for 8 innings straight? I don't think so. So I agree. I think George Springer's just being a baby. I don't think umps are rigging it to that degree.
To me, it sounds like a skill issue. If you don't want to lose your 3-game lead in the division, don't lose 3 games in the last week of September. I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot you could do. The umpires aren't rigging a game. You can play better. You're not, as Steve said, Garrett Crochet is not being paid. Well, he is being paid to strike out the Blue Jays, but not by the league, by the Red Sox.
Not every game, yeah. Also, there's how many baseball games in a regular season? 162?
Yeah.
That's one game, my friend. And yeah, the Blue Jays have been blowing this lead for quite a bit. I just think George Springer's complaining. I don't think umps are doing, although here's what I will say. The ump got the call wrong. So there is that, but nobody is perfect. We've seen umps get calls wrong all the time. Maybe they need to find a way to challenge the foul ball play, but it'd be pretty tough because you need a camera to go over.
Yeah, that's clearly a fair ball. I mean, it's clearly a fair ball.
Yeah, and he was right there looking at it. It's a terrible call.
Yeah,
the ump
it's a terrible
messed
call.
up.
He messed up, but to say it's rigged is another thing.
I think there's the better chance that the ump made a terrible mistake than an ump trying to make the Blue Jays lose.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, they could have done it earlier in the year, started rigging games against the Blue Jays.
I know that it is in challenge. The fair foul balls between home and third or home and first aren't challengeable by the league, but why not? I remember there's a reason for it. I just can't remember, because outfield fair fouls are challengeable if it's in the outfield and you want to see if it hit the chalk, but infield ones are not. So
it must be because of the rules of what a foul ball is. So basically, if it bounces in the infield and goes over the bag, it's a fair ball.
Yeah.
But I guess there's no way for them to prove it right now. I feel like they could have a camera on a line like the NFL does.
They did. I mean, this is pretty clearly a fair ball. I'm watching it. It's clearly goes. I mean, they have an angle. I see it. It goes over the bag. It's pretty clearly fair.
Yeah, I'm a Red Sox fan. I was watching the game and I was like, oh, wow, they messed that up for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the Official Review. Remember to like, share, and comment. And let us know in the comments what you think about this George Springer accusing the MLB of rigging the AL East for the Yankees' favor.